500, the 500, the greatest race in the world.
Welcome back to Decade of Courage. I'm Bob Jenkins along with Donald Davidson, and 1966 is the featured year now. And for those of us who love these old roadsters, we were really sad in 1966 because they were the cars that were almost extinct.
In fact, there was only one in the field. Bobby Grimm drove the only front-engine car in the race. Now, they would have, it would be a couple more years before they were gone completely, but the days were numbered.
So, obviously, a rear-engine car is going to win the 1966 Indy 500, but which one of them? Let's take a look. In 1966, Jim Clark is joined at Indy by fellow Scotsman Jackie Stewart and Formula One world champion Graham Hill from England. Hill and Stewart are brought in as teammates to two-time Indy champ Roger Ward. The new drivers are immediately accepted.
Only the A.J. Foyts or the Parnelli Jones or the Andrettis were given as much exposure as Graham and Jimmy and I. And we didn't really warrant it in a funny sort of way because we hadn't served our apprenticeship.
Graham Hill has very little oval track experience, but qualifies a respectable 15th. Rookie Jackie Stewart is 11th fastest, while Jim Clark qualifies second quick. Second-year sensation Mario Andretti sits on the pole with a new track record, some 4.5 miles an hour faster than the old mark. As the field rolls off, the drivers are apprehensive about the start.
I was nervous about doing the 500 because when I went to do the 500, you go on British television, Jackie Stewart, Graham Hill and Jim Clark are going to do the Indy 500, and you go on television, an evening talk show or a sports show, and all they do is show the crashes. These enormous accidents, and this is what you're going to do?
Stewart's apprehensions prove well-founded. Coming down for the green flag, nearly half the field is involved in this opening lap crash. 11 cars are eliminated. Amazingly, the only injury occurs as A.J. Foyt cuts himself trying to climb the fence, fleeing the incident. It's lap 65 now, and leader Jim Clark spins in turn 4, regains control, and ducks into the pits for a fresh set of tires. Clark is back in the lead on lap 87 when he spins for a second time. Again, he regains control. Lloyd Ruby leads when he develops an oiling problem and is black flagged at the 3/4 mark. As Ruby pits, Jackie Stewart assumes the lead, with Clark and Hill running second and third. The British are dominating. Ten laps to go now, and Stewart suddenly slows to a stop at the head of the main straight. To the delight of the crowd, he begins pushing his car toward the finish line, hoping to get credit for another lap.
This has seemed to attract the attention of the public in a fairly dramatic fashion because they thought this was an enormous act of bravery for some reason, which it not at all was. And I pushed the car back for as far as I could until I was told that I could push it no further.
With Stewart out, Graham Hill leads the final 10 laps, taking the checkered flag ahead of second-place Clark. Jackie Stewart finishes 6th and is awarded Rookie of the Year honors. Hill's victory gives the British back-to-back wins at Indy. Graham Hill, as a rookie, wins the race in 1966. Give me the historical background on that, the rookie winners at Indianapolis.
He was only the 6th, and of course this is Damon Hill's father, but it was the first rookie winner since 1927, unless you include Louis Meyer from 1928. It was his first start, but he had driven relief in the 1927 race.
And the answer to the great trivia question, the last driver to go over the wall in Indianapolis, the answer is A.J. Foyt, because he climbed over the wall in that first lap crash. But that was something that really depleted the field there in the early going of that event.
Yes, in fact, exactly 1/3 of the entire field was taken out before they ever got to the first turn. When the race restarted, there was only 22 cars left.
The British invasion is in full swing now. Graham Hill wins in 1966. We'll continue with 1967 on Decade of Courage in a moment.